All right, I'm gonna show you something I'm feeling very embarrassed about, but at the same time I'm like, I shouldn't feel embarrassed about it. Just do the best you can with what you got. I'm gonna show you what seeds I've already started. So in years past I've made soil blocks. I have the soil blocker. We would mix up a huge vat of soil and do it in the soil blocks, and it worked well. And then last year I did it and everything died. I don't know if it was the soil blocks, the setup. We set up like a system with grow lights, but we had it in the basement where it's just too cold down there, and it was very discouraging. So this year, so far, I would like to do soil blocks, but so far the only thing I've had energy for is like throwing dirt in pots and throwing down seeds and hoping for the best. All right, so I have some pots. These are just onions, just a lot of onions, and you just throw the seeds in and they do fine. Ignore the giant hole in our deck. More onions, and then these onions who are not doing very well, and I think it's the soil that I had them in. So here's the other thing. I didn't go buy any soil, and since I didn't mix up any soil, I literally just went out and took I took dirt from our yard. I tried to mix in some composting type material, and I was just like, good luck, plants, good luck to you. So it's not the best way to start seeds, but you know what? Things are gonna grow. They're growing, and once I get them in the garden, I think they'll be fine, which isn't going to happen today. Today is a beautiful day out, but it is supposed to drop to 18 degrees tonight, so it's well below freezing. I'm not gonna stick them out just yet. So besides from the pots, here we have just like Tupperware bins. So these are cabbages, this is my celery, kale, and I think those are more cabbages over there. So they're growing, and I'm gonna go get them some water right now. So one thing I am doing to try to help them out is I had been collecting rainwater, and I was watering them with rainwater because rainwater is just so great for plants and they love it so much. But then my kids this morning came in and told me very excitedly that they dumped out all the rainwater. So thanks. So then I said, well, why don't you go down and get me some water in this? And look, they brought it back full of mud. So I'm gonna go now in the hole that was created by the meteor and get it there. So ever since that meteor hit, we just kind of left it the way it was. We didn't really try to fill it in. But when it rains, it fills up with water. So I'm gonna go get that because I figure that is rainwater and it'll have some extra dirt in it. And apparently it also has a toy lawnmower in it. That's exciting. So why am I showing you my awful seed starting setup? Number one, you shouldn't take advice from me on seed starting, obviously. There are lots of people who do a really good job. But what I do want to say is do what you can. Do what you can. That's the only thing I had energy for. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have anything started right now. I'm starting to feel a little more energy with the good weather now. I feel like I could probably make some seed blocks and get going on that. But if all you can do is throw dirt in a pot and throw seeds down, just throw dirt in a pot and throw seeds down. One of the first years I ever grew peppers, I was tired. It's like a reoccurring theme. I think I was doing a lot of stuff. I took this package of seeds and I just dumped it in the ground, on the ground. Oh my gosh, it grew so many peppers. It was amazing. It was probably the best pepper harvest I ever had. Yummy.
Yeah, my clothes are still down at the pond.
Your clothes are in the pond. Can you go get them? No?
Baby, because I don't want to get muddy again.
It is so hot outside today. I cannot believe it's going to be 18 degrees tonight. Like, I would be definitely putting out all my plants right now if I didn't know that. Also, I've been reading some stuff about plants you can plant out while it's still cold before it's like warm, before your last frost date type of thing. And they say a bunch of different plants, and I'm like, that makes sense, but I feel like that's more for like it's cold and then eventually it's going to warm up and they're going to sprout and grow. don't think what they're taking into consideration now is now it seems like it gets really warm. Like I'm wearing the sweatshirt, I'm hot, I'm sweating. It's really warm, and it'll be warm for a while, and everything starts to grow, and then it goes below freezing. So I don't think the seedlings that they're saying to go ahead and plant out, I don't think they would do very well in that situation. So just something to keep in mind. All right, everybody's had a nice dousing of Meteor Pond water. Okay, speaking of the general weather these days, so you could say, oh, well, you're probably paying more attention to the weather the more you garden, and that is true. However, I will say there's a lot of people who have been gardening for a long time who have been saying the weather's kind of a little crazy right now. So I've been thinking about the future, and I would like to get some high tunnels. I don't have the funds for that right now, and already I just feel we've already expanded the gardens. It's a lot to keep up with, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about for next year. I will say I'm happy out where we are. Our trees have not flowered out yet. So these are my peach trees, and they have not flowered out. They're starting to get buds on them. Let me see if you can see that. So they're starting to get buds on them, but they have not flowered out, whereas the ones in town have. So good luck to them. Let's see here. Ooh, all the garlic. I think that's an onion from last year. That garlic, and garlic will do fine even when it gets frozen. It'll be fine. Pretty sure I planted some walking onions over here, and then maybe maybe it's coming up. They're coming up. Oh, so happy. All right. I mean, you know, if you garden, you know, you get excited about little things coming out of the ground. You're like, it's my onions. Other normal people are probably like, you are weird. You're the culprit. So I used to have this box up here, and every single day it would be knocked over, and I think it's Raven. Oh my gosh, here's another failed experiment. I tried to grow some worms in a box, but we ended up leaving the box out, and it froze and went through a bunch of stuff. But are you happy in there, Chickie? You look very content in this box. I guess we'll just keep the box for you. What do you think, Raven? We are so close to having beautiful flowers. I have a lot of really pretty daffodils in this bed. Raven kicked out Chickie. Now it's Raven's turn. So this is actually a huge problem if you have chickens and you let them just walk everywhere. We had this big feed trough that I planted some plants in last year. It's got another one inside, but the feed trough, and everything I planted, the chickens would just jump up and try to take dust baths in there, and they basically just killed everything. Even when I put like a fence around it, they didn't care. So all right, we're gonna do an experiment, you and I, to see how things turn out if you are not doing things the best way. So we're gonna plant some seeds right now in just the most ridiculous, not great way ever, and I'm willing to bet they'll still grow, but we'll see. All right, first of all, we are going to be growing them in this super fancy pot. It is not fancy. This, who knows what this came in this. Probably some food from the grocery store. What are you guys following me? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, for dirt, we're just gonna make a mixture. Here's some dirt that my chicken spilled. Old potting soil. Pretty devoid of nutrients it looks like, but it'll loosen up some of the stuff that I'm gonna put in there. Right, so this is the stuff that I put into compost, but it didn't actually compost down yet. But we're gonna grab some of this, some like old leaf stuff. And to finish off our trifecta of awesome dirt and good potting soil, we're just gonna take dirt from the ground. Yep. Are you interested in my potting soil mix, Junior? Yes, doesn't it look exciting? Don't eat my potting soil mix. So we got clay. That's what our ground is. Clay dirt. Great for nutrients, bad because it's clay. We have old potting soil. Probably no nutrients, but at least it's not clay. And then we have slightly composted random stuff. Oh, you want some too, Pepper? They come over here because sometimes I dig them up worms. So let's see. We're going to throw some seeds in here. I mean, look at this. This is not ideal in any way, shape, or form, but we'll see what happens. All right, first let's wet our potting medium with, this isn't the meteor site, which is over there. This is what's left of the mud pit that my children play in every day. Look at those boots. So here, let's just get this nice and wet. Ooh, that's good. All right, what shall we grow in our amazing potting soil? We're gonna try to grow, these were from bell peppers from the supermarket. Well, some of them might have been from my garden, but this is probably from the supermarket. And we're just gonna throw a bunch of these seeds in and see what happens. You think it'll grow? Should take bets. Now, to top it off, we will take this old potting soil from this really sad looking box that has been hanging on my deck not doing anything and just put it on top. Ta-da! Beautiful. We'll put it inside before tonight, but right now you can sit right there on the picnic table. So you tell me, will those seeds grow? I'm gonna bet yes. I think they will. I think that we overthink starting seeds a lot. Are they gonna grow as amazingly as some of my really good gardening friends? Probably not, but you never know. Something will grow. And I feel like once you get the seeds, the plants out in the garden, nature kind of takes over. And then they just do really well and you don't have to worry about it as much. Seed starting is kind of, it's always an issue, but we'll see. So we'll check back. And how's your seed starting going? Maybe a little bit better than this, but maybe not. And if not, just throw some seeds in some dirt. Just do something and see what happens. Catch you later.